I'm kidding, honey. I love all of your movies. And if you ask me, you're an even better Black Widow than Coretta Scott King. Well, tonight is our season finale.
Yeah.
And we have a tradition where Shay and I West have reached a settlement in their divorce. And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that she maybe had an easier time finding a good lawyer.
President Trump said that he will only negotiate with Democrats when they agree to reopen the government, adding that he will not be extorted. Except that one time he famously got extorted by that mattress actress Stormy Daniels.
Donald Trump released his official inaugural.
Out in less than 2 months, the administration has the same turnover as a college town Chick-fil-A at the end of a semester. Soon it's just gonna be Trump wandering around by himself trying to keep squirrels out of his ballroom. He and J.D. Vance are gonna go full Grey Gardens. But even more shocking than the Labor Secretary's abrupt resignation is the investigation that preceded it, which involved alleged misconduct by the secretary and her family.
Her departure.
Royal experts are saying that Queen Elizabeth's health has entered a different phase and the public may not see her until February. So you know what that means. New titties. $1 billion worth of opioids looks like. A British group set a new world record when more than 200 people rode a roller coaster naked, breaking the previous record of 1.
Hey, Batman turns 80 years old this month, which explains his new arch nemesis, Jamaican Nurse. Several major media companies, including NBC Universal, have pulled their advertising from Elon Musk's X over concerns that ads for their shows could appear next to pro-Nazi propaganda, which is a huge relief because I was definitely worried about where this was going to end up. This week, Donald Trump Jr. testified in his father's civil fraud trial. House leadership rejected Cheney's attacks, calling them cheaper than a black rabbi. Right-wing election denier Doug Mastriano, whose face appears to be photoshopped onto a hot dog, won the Pennsylvania Republican primary for governor and said if he's elected, he would be so far to the right, he would make his trying really hard, you guys. A new study also says that after restrictions are lifted, 60% of Americans want to try something new this summer. But not that, said your girlfriend.
House Republicans voted to remove Liz Cheney from her party leadership role after she continued to challenge Donald Trump's lie that the election was stolen. Wow, I never thought...
Very nice to be back with you. First show last season, COVID was raging everywhere. There was no vaccine. We were in the middle of an intense election. And just before we went on the air, the producers were like, hey, real quick, the president might be dying. Anyway, have fun out there. It was an exciting time for the show. Big story this year, infrastructure. I guess that's an improvement on like a survival of the human race. You wear your dad's old underwear.
After meeting with the Anti-Defamation League, Kyrie Irving announced that from now on, he will pretend to not be anti-Semitic. Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving was suspended after he tweeted a link to the anti-Semitic film Hebrew to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. Hebrew to Negroes was also the name of my favorite R&B group in the 90s. March is Women's History Month, which is always nice, except for that one week where it's a huge bitch.
Remember when you cheered for the beginning? KFC has introduced a new item.
I have another product that I wanted to get out there into the world. So this is our Goop Luminous Solution. It's that #1 most luminous solution in the world, rated #1 in luminosization.
During a congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism. She will be replaced by literally anyone who knows you say genocide is bad. The whole crazy part is that the whole point during her speech was that free speech on campus should never be punished. And then she was immediately punished for her speech. Victor Manuel Roca, a former U.S. ambassador, has been charged with spying for Cuba since 19...
of a wise black musician teaching a mentally challenged Italian man how to love.
Yeah. I don't think he's mentally challenged.
Oh, no. See the movie. He was. But here's my real best picture, Colin. Open on. A baby laughing. He knows nothing, yet he knows more than we ever will. Cut to a white hand touching a black hand, finally. Pan over.
That's the Fantasia Barrino I want. And I want everything at my funeral. I want Run from Run DMC to be the preacher. I want the little girl from the Sia videos to come out and do an interpretive dance of my life. There's gonna be a cash bar because my cousin Tamina bartended and she need that money.
And then you'll be buried.
No, I don't want a burial. I want my...
I need to leave my mark. And sometimes, to find that one perfect shirt, you have to unfold 40 and dump them all on the floor.
All right, well, you're here to give us some holiday shopping tips, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Tip #1, get you one of these. Did you know anyone can buy a neck brace? You don't even have to go to a doctor. These things make people stay out of your way. They think...
No, please.
What's that?
No, don't show that, please.
It's just rocks. God, Americans are uptight. Did you know in the Italian version of SNL, you can show full penetration?
What?
Our Matt Foley lived in a man down by the river.
You know what? If you want to show it so bad, then show it. We're all watching.
Well, now I'm
$1 worth of soap and crab meat, which coincidentally are the exact ingredients in Peeps. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg posted that he has created a sleep box which helps his wife with insomnia by staying dark through the night and then lighting up when it's his time for her to wake up. That story again, Mark Zuckerberg makes his wife sleep in a coffin. The president did come away with a lot less money than he was asking for. He only got a fraction of his wall money.
What? Colin, are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Well,
pretty sure.
geez Louise. Well, it must have been a big fraction, right?
Yeah, it would have to be a big fraction, a big fraction. Yeah.
Well, it was only about 2.3% of the total amount he needs.
But only if you admit what they did. You know, you could buy a Mustang, but you have to say, Henry Ford hated the Jews as you buckle it. You know? The full sentence should be, Mark Wahlberg beat up an old Asian dude, and I would like 1 ticket to Daddy's Home 3, please. Because if it's that important to you, at least own it. You know, like, I don't need to ever see a Kevin Spacey movie again. But if the CEO of Swisher Sweets turns out to be a cannibal, I can't just change my whole life.
This week, but I'm aware of a fraud every day when I look in the mirror.
A new report shows that the gender death gap is rising, with men dying an average of 6 years before women, which is, it's actually scientific proof that men are actually dying a little every time we have to listen to your boring-ass story.
We'll sing about you for 10 minutes on national television. At the very least, return the scarf. But in real news, I don't really know what's real anymore. Ex-Trump advisor Steve Bannon, seen here moments after shooting out of a sewage pipe. Sorry, I should use his full name. Stephen K. Bannon. The K stands for 3 Ks.
Comb
your cooter down, Beaver Kniever. I'm Tina the Trucker, whatever name I gave you. And I gotta be in Rancho Cucaramba by nightfall.
Rancho Cucaramba? Cecily, what are you doing?
I don't know, Colin. I am just trying to get through this moment, okay? Gas prices are up and families are really hurting. But that's not going to magically disappear no matter who you vote for. We're in a global recession fueled by corporate greed and war.
They like Trump. Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe it. The migrants don't like you. They just walked 1,000 miles to get to edge of this river, and they're probably thinking, is that weirdo in a Trump costume waving us into the country?
Mitch McConnell, seen here catching up on news from the Middle East, announced that he will step at Friday that he would visit the site of the Baltimore bridge collapse because, like that bridge, Biden is no longer connecting with black communities. You got to read the polls.
Wow. Donald Trump shared a video Friday of a truck driving in Long Island with a picture on the back of President Biden tied up with a rope. And I'd love to know where to get one.
Yesterday, Mike Johnson, whose position as House Speaker is in jeopardy, traveled to Mar-a-Lago for a meeting with Donald Trump. And boy, is his jaw tired. All right.
That eventually got applause? Senator Mitch McConnell, gender reveal party. And bad news for China, it's a girl. Chinese officials condemned the U.S. decision to destroy the surveillance balloon, saying it was a civilian aircraft. Okay, but even civilian aircrafts can be extremely dangerous.
The revised AP African American history. Find a bootleg copy of that Mueller report somewhere. Why do they keep trying to play the rules with this guy? Democrats deal with Trump like white parents deal with screaming kids at supermarkets. Trump's just kicking over pickle jars and knocking over boxes, and they're like, I'm gonna count to 40, mister.
Then Congressman Nadler, who was recently unmasked by the Scooby-Doo gang, criticized William